Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Vedic Living. And we are going to complete our series on the 2025 predictions for all the zodiac signs. And I want to try and get all the three remaining signs posted by the end of this week. So hopefully, I know there's been a delay of a month, but my health has not been doing very well. However, I thought, you know what, today I need to make sure that I give you all the predictions because I know there's a lot of you who are Virgo, Aquarius, and Pisces who are waiting for the prediction. So this is a big deal. Okay. So today we'll be talking about the Capricorn rising or Capricorn moon individuals. And as I always like to mention, if before you go into this reading, just remember that this is the sidereal Vedic astrology degrees. Okay. This is not the Western degrees. So if in the Western zodiac or the tropical astrology zodiac, you are a certain sign, then in Vedic, chances are your sign has changed. Okay, because we are looking at the sidereal degrees of the planet. So if you don't know where your ascendant or your moon is in Vedic astrology, please feel free to go to my website, www.vedic-living.com, and go to the free chart calculator and calculate your chart, and it will show you where your ascendant, which is ASC, and where your moon is, which is MO on that particular chart. So that should give you a quick understanding as to how this year will unfold for you, because I'll give some high-level predictions here. Of course, a lot depends on your individual chart. So if you have any further questions on the same website, you can book a reading with me, and we can look at your chart and see what specific predictions you have for the coming year. But at a high level, I'm going to tell you everything, all the transits going on in the sky. That being said, let's go into the predictions. So the first thing for Capricorn individuals is that, you are by nature a very practical person. Capricorns, they are extremely practical, grounded, down to earth, and they think of everything in terms of, their work, their service, how they want to be in society, how they want to be perceived in society, because it's the natural 10th house. And, when it comes to Capricorn individuals, like I said, there's no imaginative things or, illusions that could, confuse them. They are mostly very, very grounded and practical. They think of everything in terms of the application to life. So with Capricorn individuals, the first thing right off the bat, Saturn has been transiting your second house for the past 2 years, 2.5 years almost. And this has been very straining on your finances. You have been really focused in on not only your finances and your expenses, but on how to save better, how to make more money, how to invest better, how to be responsible in terms of your expenses. All of that has been occupying your mind for the past two to 2.5 years. But this transit of Saturn is finally getting over on March 29th, and Saturn will move into your third house. Now, this is a big deal because when Saturn moves into your third house on March 29th, the first 2 to 3 week period right after that, so the first 3 weeks of April, there's going to be a stellium of planets in your third house. Now, third house is very important in astrology. I feel like it's the most appreciated, misunderstood house of the zodiac system because they say it's the siblings. I do think, yes, it has a lot of indications for siblings. There's no doubt about that. But the third house is very important in terms of your willpower. If you have strong planets in your third house, you're very strong-willed. You don't give up very easily. You're very determined, and you have the ability to make things happen no matter what the odds are. And also the third house rules self-expression. I can't say this or stress this enough. A lot of celebrities, Hollywood stars and such, they have strong third houses because it is the natural sign of Gemini. And it rules the stage, the theater, the drama, the music, the any kind acting, anything that has to do with self-expression, writing, authorship, all that is the third house. So what does that say when you have a stellium of planets there, which is Saturn, Venus, Rahu, Neptune, Sun and Moon? It's during the eclipse period, Sun and Moon will also be there. And of course, you have at that point in time, you'll also have K2 opposing it. So this is a lot of energy that's going to be focused on Pisces, which is your third house, which means you will feel incredibly inspired to express yourself in whatever medium it may be. And it might be that you're very creative. You might be an artist. You might want to write. You might be an author. Whatever area that you are creative in, you'll feel very empowered and inspired to do that during the first 3 weeks of April. I would even say the whole month of April, because that planetary energy doesn't die down that quickly. It's pretty much there. So you're going to feel very, very inspired in areas of self-expression, but also with Rahu and Neptune being there in your third house, yes, there could be some problems with your interaction with your siblings. You may feel like, things are not going the way you want to. You may disagree with your siblings. There may be a sibling who is working behind your back. You feel like you're being betrayed by somebody, because that's the Neptune-Rahu conjunction. And a lot of karmic lessons through third house matter. See, third house rules siblings, but in reality, it rules anybody who's at the same level as you. It's, eye to eye, competition, competitors, even in workplace. It could be your co-workers, it could be your neighbor, it could be your, cousins. Anybody who's at that same level as you is considered the third house. So yes, it could bring a lot of competition. You might be looking to compete in a certain area, or you might be looking for that one job offer that you're competing with other candidates with, or something of that sort. So this is definitely a lot of energy in the third house. So just watch it for, the positive. Of course, I told you, so that's good. You will be able to feel really inspired and empowered in all those areas. But the downside could be that it's too much, right? It's just too much planetary energy there. There's planetary even war going on there. It can be overwhelming. So like I've been saying, for all the signs in the month of April, the energies around you, the illusion around you might be extremely magnified, and hence you'll have to really ground yourselves. So Capricorn rising individuals, I know you can ground yourselves. That's what you are about. So that is not an issue. But with all those planets being in Pisces, yes, you have to be a little careful. Now, third house is also traveling, learning, and teaching. So yes, you could be traveling in the month of April. You could be learning something new, or you might be picking up something that you want to pass your knowledge on to others. You might be teaching something. So this is all going to happen in that time frame with all these planets there. And if right now you're thinking, what is it that I'm going to learn? Don't worry about it. When the planetary energies start congregating there, it'll automatically come to you what you're going to do. Okay. So that's one thing. Now, another thing is, once Saturn moves into your third house, it's going to be there for 2.5 years, which means the karmic lessons brought by the third house is going to last for the next 2.5 years. Not to mention the eclipse is also going to be in your 3-9 axis. So traveling, learning, teaching is major focus for sure in this period for you. Jupiter has been transiting your fifth house for the past less than a year, I would say, because it's been there since April of 2024. And fifth house is again very creative. So yeah, you have been feeling very creative. You've probably been interacting a lot with your children. If you didn't have children, you were probably planning to have children and all of that, right? So that's good. Now, what's going to happen is Jupiter is going to move into your sixth house in the month of May this year, May 14th. Okay, so this is important. This transit of Jupiter into your sixth house means you are going to be focused on your health. You're going to be incredibly focused on your health, on your routine, on your day-to-day life. Are you eating well? Are you sleeping well? Are you taking a lot of stress? Those kind of things will become the focus once Jupiter goes into the sixth, because Jupiter tries to give you knowledge in all those areas. So it is going to be a major focus for you in that period. Also, not to mention, with Mars being there, retrograde Mars, which will then go direct. So Mars is in your sixth house as of January 20th, and it's going to be there till about April 2nd. So your health has been struggling a little bit. You have been under a lot of stress, and that stress could kind of convert itself into some sort of lifestyle related issues, right? So that's why Jupiter is coming there in the month of May to give you the knowledge to overcome that. So yes, you might join a new gym, or you might start a diet or something like that between the month of May and October. And then in the month of October, for that 2-month period, briefly, Jupiter is going to step into Cancer and come back out, which means Cancer is what? It's your seventh house. Seventh house of partnerships and business relationships. So yes, if you're not in a relationship, you could potentially meet somebody. If you're in a relationship, I think with all the Mars transits going on, the past, I think, more than 4 months in your seventh house has been causing a struggle in your relationship. You have been very, kind of having arguments with your spouse and things like that. So with all that happening, Jupiter coming into Cancer in the end of the year in October could really heal those areas, those relationships. You're going to feel like things are doing much better. You understand your partner better. And like I said, if you're not in a relationship, this could be a time you're meeting somebody, okay? Of course, you also have to look at where your moon is and listen to the predictions for the moon sign too. That way you can kind of blend it. However, with Jupiter being in your seventh house, yes, you could be feeling inclined to also start a business, because this is a time when, when Jupiter is in the seventh house, businesses and business partnerships become kind of that idea in your mind that this is what I want to do. Now, also remember, Jupiter is only there for 2 months, and then it's going to go back out and come back in for a whole year in 2026, June. So whatever is happening October to December is kind of like a preliminary preview of what is to come in 2026. So, I think it's like the starting off point, right? And then Jupiter will go back into your sixth house to get you all that health related knowledge and routine and discipline and everything back into place. So this is going to be like I say all the time, I think of this year as 3 portions: January to May, May to October, and October to December, like a 3 portion of the year, right? And each of them is distinctly different from the other one. So so I hope this particular video gave you some information on how your predictions are looking for the coming year. And like I said, your chart, your individual chart will have a lot more details in it, because then we can see where the Jupiter is, where the Saturn is, where your moon is, your sun. All of that is very important to make a holistic prediction. So if you want to know more about your chart, feel free to make an appointment with me on my website, www.vedic-living.com. I'll see you next time with the sign Aquarius. And thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching my videos, and please like and subscribe.